Yeah, so just come back a little bit to ourselves. I note already that when I sit down for meditation and I start coming back to myself, I carry a little bit of pressure. Like, I need to meditate. I need to come back to myself. Okay, I need to be serious. I need to empty my mind. I need to relax. I need to yada, 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 yada. But what's coming up for me right now is that this coming back to ourselves can be done with enjoyment and can be done with peace and can just feel good. And the question I'd like for us to just explore in this meditation is, what would my life be like if I just allowed everything that is right now to be as it is? What would my life be like if I allowed everything to be as it is? The mind has a lot of resistance to allowing things to be as it is, a lot of convincing stories. If I allowed everything to be as it is, I couldn't take my child to school. How would he get to school? If I allowed everything to be as it is, I wouldn't be paying my bills. I wouldn't be getting the groceries. My endless list of things that I need to manage and accomplish just to make it through the day wouldn't get done. And so we might kind of soften that question a little bit and say, what would our lives be like if we allowed our experience of this moment to be as it is? Well, what is our experience of this moment? First thing that comes up is all the stories running around in our minds, stories of tension, stories of pain, stories of wanting to take a holiday, not wanting to go to work today, not wanting to have to be out in the world today. Usually we get in meditation unconsciously trying to stop those stories. Funny how trying to stop those stories is the exact opposite of allowing our experience of this moment to be as it is. And I notice just in that attempting to stop, there's effort, there's trying, there's resistance, there's a fight, there's a subtle sense of violence. I need this story to stop. I need this story to go away. What if we just allowed the story that's here in this moment to be the story that's here in this moment? What would that experience be like? I notice in me a story about needing to go into my office in a few minutes arises. I notice some resistance to that. I don't want to go to my office. There's another story. I'd rather be here. That's another story. If I resist those stories, I feel my body respond to what that story is saying. I don't want to be in my office. It kind of, I feel myself harden. I don't want to have to do anything today. You can almost, I certainly feel the energetic tension in that. And again, we usually try to get that story to go away. That story isn't serving me. That story is a block to me being present and available. So I push it away. I try to fix it. I try to make it stop popping up. But what if instead I just allow whatever story that arises in this moment to be the story that's arising in this moment? I don't want to have to do today. Okay, that's the story that's arising in this moment. I just allow it to arise because it already is. Okay, a story arises of, wow, would that be what meditation is? Or uh, would this really work? How can I get this to work even more? Okay, well, that's the next story. I just allow that story to be as it is. Mind keeps arising with more stories, maybe noises in the room, or maybe wanting to get to a healed or more whole place. Okay, well, that's the next story that is. I allow that story to be. I don't log into it. I don't contract around it. I just allow it to be, just like I allow my breathing, just like you allow the sound of my voice. Another dimension of our experience of this moment is feeling, feelings that arise in the inner body, often very attached to the stories. Just like the stories are the language of the mind, we could say feelings are the language of the inner body. Can I allow whatever feeling is here right now to be the feeling that's here right now? There's a contraction, there's a tension. Just like stories with the mind, if I try to push it away, it seems to grow larger, seems to be more solid, seems to define me, wall me off from this moment, from my heart. What if instead I just totally allow whatever feeling is in my inner body to be here? What would that experience be like? and check into your inner body. Allow your inner body to tell you. Not so much tinkering with the stories in the mind, again, just stories, not so much trying to intellectualize and figure it out with our analytical, judging mind, but feeling what would my experience be like if I allowed whatever feeling is in my inner body to be there, and then gently direct your attention into the inner body. What would that be like? What is that like right now? I notice as I allow the feelings in my inner body to be as they are, the stories in my mind to be as they are, that my breath kind of naturally deepens. I'm not trying to deepen it, it just is a byproduct. The tension in my body, my shoulders, my face, the deeper I allow my experience of this moment to be as it is, I feel that tension subtly dropping, that conditioned tension that we carry around. I feel my chest open. I actually feel my inner body open energetically. And it reminds me again of a deep truth that a lot of my feeling walled off from life, my discontentment, my feelings of sadness, or my stories of lack, my stories of victimhood, woe is me, a lot of them are just tied to this unconscious resistance that I have to what is right now. They're not tied necessarily to what is, at least not 90% of it. 90% of that is not tied to what is, but to this unconscious resistance to the moment as it is. What's it like to experience this moment as it is with complete allowing? The body lightens, the tension lightens. I notice for me there's a sense of spaciousness, which I know I point to a lot. The deeper the allowing, the more the spaciousness. There's stillness, subtle or more grand, but there's stillness. The deeper the allowing, the greater experientially the feeling of stillness. There's a sense of inner silence. The deeper the allowing, the greater the silence. Even though stories may still pop up in the mind, feelings still pop up in the inner body, they pop up within this kind of space or subtle background of silence, stillness, spaciousness. So, what would it be like to allow our experience of this moment to be as it is? Maybe ask ourselves that question one more time and just relax attention back into our inner body and just feel into what's here. What's it like when I allow, when I give myself total freedom to be as I am right now? Taking a few deep breaths and just feeling and relaxing in to that.